Good morning. My name is Enrique Zamora. I'm the special master who's going to be hearing cases this morning. In case that you haven't been here before, let me give you a synopsis of what the procedure is here. This is not a formal court of law, but I will make sure that you get due process. So everything is recorded, and the testimony is taken on the oath. We're actually on live TV. And what I asked the city to do is present the case, tell me what the case is about, give me any testimony that they want, and then I'll give you a chance to respond. After I hear both sides, I will make a decision. In some cases, there might be a need to give you additional time. I'll try to be flexible with that. Some cases, the city might be asking for me to impose a fine. If I think it's warranted, I will. But that's the procedure, and what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you're going to be testifying, not attorneys, but if you're going to be testifying, I'm going to ask you to stand up to be sworn in, please.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's call the first case, please.
The first case, it's on page 1 for 1657 Michigan Avenue, SMC 2019, and an intent 28, and SMC 2019, and an intent 60, both for a progress report. Let me give you some additional, I don't know if
Thank you.
this belongs to the file.
This is what? Okay, let me put it here on the side.
In my files.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Carter McDowell with Bills and Sunberg, representing Walgreens.
Okay.
Good morning, Christopher Machado, Ackerman LLP, representing the property owner, 947 Lincoln Road Holdings LLC.
All right. Well, let me hear from the city first, and then I'll give you a chance for you gentlemen to respond. City may proceed, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joshua Guerin, Co-Compliance Officer, CMI Beach, and the custodian records for this case, for both cases. Both of the cases were property maintenance violations issued at 1657 Michigan Avenue. One for broken stucco on the west side of the property, and for basically the whole entire building needs to be painted on both the south, the west, and the north side of the property. This is a progress report. An inspection was done this past Sunday, and both violations still exist, so we're just looking for a compliance date.
You're looking for what?
A compliance date?
Okay. Wow, it doesn't seem to be a difficult case for two attorneys to be here. So
It's
please.
actually one of the more unusual cases I've ever been involved in, Your Honor.
Okay.
I've been doing this
And I want to say something just to make sure that you both are aware. Based on what I have here, there is a $56,000 fine, which continues to accrue at the rate of $300 per day. Okay? So
Your Honor, that should not be correct. We appeared before one of your colleagues in August and again in October. And we were given extended compliance dates, and I can give you a little bit of background as to why.
All right.
And we are still within that. This is
So your understanding is that there should not be a fine running?
not
Okay.
to my knowledge, and I don't think the city thought there was either.
It's because there was a little confusion at one point. One case got service and the other one did not, and so I believe they ran a fine on the one that got service, but they didn't show because they weren't aware of the violation. But then when the next violation was heard, I believe a month after, when they did show, they explained, they went over basically that violation, but the second one still got service even though they weren't present.
But
So,
is your understanding that a fine was running?
correct.
So you believe that this is correct?
I was aware that the fine started to run.
Okay, all right. Fernanda, could we check to see if there was a prior order?
Let me check the file now.
Okay, let's clear this up because it's running up at
Well,
$300 per day. Okay?
I don't understand that.
Well, the inspector, there was a hearing on June 6th where they were supposed to be in compliance by August 8th of 2019.
On which violation, if I may ask?
the broken stucco repair, broken stucco on exterior.
Okay. That was a hearing that we didn't get notice of and
Okay.
didn't attend. And the city acknowledged that the notice was defective and brought it back in October, and we did appear in October on that matter. There are two pieces to this particular set of violations.
No, but before we get into it, let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop the fines as of today.
thank you.
There's really nothing that I can do with the amount that is here, because we have to wait until they come into compliance, and then you ask for mitigation.
I
Okay,
understand
you
that
know that part.
process. I
Perfect.
don't think it should be applicable, but I understand the process.
So Fernanda, as of today, I'm stopping the fines. Okay, and let's see what happens.
Just by way of background, so there are two issues, broken stucco and paint. And there's a much larger issue, which I'm going to explain to you. They got separated because there was defective notice on the stucco issue, where we didn't get the notice, and the landlord didn't get the notice either, to my knowledge. And so they re-noticed that and brought it back in October, and they were put back together, and they're both before you today. Because we did get notice of
So
the paint.
there was a hearing in October,
There was a hearing in August on the paint,
right?
and then there was a subsequent hearing. The stucco hadn't been noticed properly, so it didn't get noticed until October.
Okay,
And then at that point, we asked the special master at that point to continue them both to the same day, because the August hearing on the paint was continued to today.
so you were here in October.
I was hearing
You
both.
were too.
August, I was here in August.
In August, but you
And
were
I was here
here.
in August, and my colleague Carly Grimm was here in October.
Okay, and your understanding was at that point in time, there were no fines running.
And let me explain, let me give you the whole background, and I'm not going to go through it in detail because we'd be here too long. So this is about a property on the corner on Lincoln Road in Michigan. And in 2017, the Historic Preservation Board approved a project that is a two-story retail, it is a contributing historic structure. And in 2017, the HPB approved an order for the substantial demolition and renovation and expansion of that property. That
You say
order is-
demolition, the whole property was
It
going to be
wasn't, it was substantial.
Well,
It is an
okay.
historic structure, it wasn't all being demolished, but the structure is in very bad condition.
Okay.
It is, and it's not easily repairable. It really needs structural work before it can be repaired, because it's a wood frame structure that's almost 100 years old. So in August of 2018, a building permit application was submitted to the city, and that building permit application was for a Walgreens store, and there was a lease between the landlord and the tenant at that, for a Walgreens store, and that was in 2018. The city processed that application up until, so the city was processing that application. We paid $130,000 in fees associated with that permit application. In January of 2019, the city decided they didn't like the use and set about amending the code to prohibit the use. And we didn't know about that until we were informed in February by the city that the planning board had taken action on an ordinance, and there was now zoning in progress to prohibit the use that we had applied for 8 months earlier, and the city had processed with multiple meetings up until that point. That legislative process strung out until June of 2019. Prior to that, the final reading on that ordinance, we resubmitted plans, which is the set of plans that you have before you that was submitted in the August hearing. Still seeking the building permit, but having removed the name Walgreens from the set at the request of the city. The city still refused to process the permit. Starting in February of 2019, the city has refused to process those permits. Needless to say, we need a building permit to do the repairs. We can't just go do them, we need a building permit. So we have been seeking that building permit since mid-2018. The city,
Will allow you to come into compliance.
that would allow us to come into compliance because it requires us to do substantial structural work to the building, which we would then put new stucco and paint on. So that has continued. I was here in August, where this matter was continued to today, which was the paint, the stucco caught up to it, if you will, in October. In September, we filed a written request with the planning director, and I'm going to give you 4 letters that I'm going to talk about.
Would you show it to the inspector, please, what you're giving me? Okay. Fernanda, I lost you. You want this to go into the file? Are you?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's, that's all right, no problems.
And I have additional copies if you need additional
No,
copies.
one is enough, thank you.
So we were here in August, and it was continued to February to give us a chance to try to get the city to issue a building permit. In September, we submitted a lengthy letter, and there's actually about 80 pages of backup to it, requesting a equitable estoppel determination under the provisions of the code. The city took until December 11th to respond to that, and responded saying, well, you've asked for written, and the response came from the city attorney's office, which was kind of unusual. And the response was, you've asked for a determination, we're not going to give you a determination, but you have to comply with the code, which kind of didn't make sense to us a lot either.
Who wrote that letter?
Alex Boxner on behalf of the city, and I've just given the clerk, here. Chris, if you wouldn't mind. That's another copy of that, but you might give him this too while we're at it. And clerk has it, and one more. Let's see if we can get. So we wrote in September, the month after our hearing, to say.
Let me stop you for a second. Fernanda, let's see who I can get from the city attorneys to come.
So long and the short of it is, we followed up to try to get the permit issued. We've asked numerous times for the permit to be issued. We got a response in mid-December saying, you have to comply with the code, and no, we're not going to give you a written decision. Since we believe that letter saying it wasn't a decision actually was a decision, we then on January 10th, filed an appeal of that administrative decision, seeking to have it reviewed so that we could get the building permit issued.
To have it reviewed by whom?
The Board of Adjustment, because the code allows for every administrative decision to be reviewed by the Board of Adjustment if it's alleged to be in error. So we then immediately turned around, filed that letter, and just last week on February 4th, we got another letter from Mr. Boxner saying, no, you don't have the right to go to a hearing because the decision was written by the city attorney's office and not by the administrative official. Therefore, the board doesn't have jurisdiction and you can't go to the Board of Adjustment. So we are at the point where we've exhausted all of our administrative remedies, and our next step, honestly, is to go to court because this was a legal permitted use at the time we applied for the building permit. It was, until June of the following year, a legal permitted use. The code wasn't changed until almost a year after we filed our building permit application. We're trying. We would love to get a building permit and do what we need to do because the building requires a lot of work. We acknowledge that. There's not a problem with that. At this point, our request is that we be given, 90 days, 6 months probably, to see if we can get a ruling that we are a permitted use, which we clearly believe we are under the city code, and move forward. But I can't, unless I can get a building permit issued, I can't do the repairs, and I can't get a building permit issued. We've asked multiple times over the period of 18 months to try to move this project forward. I know this sounds bizarre. It's bizarre to me. I've been doing this for 40 plus years. That's where we are. Our next step is, unfortunately, to go to court and see if the courts agree with us that having spent well more than $1 million pursuing this project, that we're entitled to move forward. And that's our story. We would ask for additional time to comply.
Ryan Thomas, Co-Compliance Administrator. I'm asking a question if it's supposedly on. You're asking them for a permit to rehab the whole building. There's no possibility at all of just asking for a paint permit and stucco repair? Or
The answer is we could ask for a paint permit And yes, we could put paint on the building that's there.
Right,
This building unfortunately is wood frame,
okay.
and there's plywood underneath the stucco that is rotted.
So you got major stuff to
So
do.
I can't if we could hire a stucco repair guy to just put stucco on and paint it, it would be easy. That's not the circumstance. There is substantial structural
Structural
problem.
stuff. Okay, that's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And believe me, if it was easy, we would have done it.
Okay. Difficult case, I can see.
Very unusual.
I have requested someone from the city attorney's office to be here, but I don't know, are we going to get someone or not?
Someone is coming now.
Okay.
I think that's her, right? Yeah. Hey, Ferocia, thank you so much.
Hi.
What's going on? Just brief her.
Good morning. I hate to do this to you because you don't know what we're talking about, and that's really interesting. So, but I seem to have a case that has some very interesting novel issues that require that the city attorney be here. But, and really, I don't want to put this lady on the spot because she doesn't
And she
know the
wasn't the
case.
one who wrote the letter, so I
But
understand.
if all you're asking me
It's time,
is for time,
that's all.
I don't have a problem,
That's,
okay?
we'll fix it as soon as we can.
All right, so I am going to, let's see. Would 4 months be enough?
We can certainly come back and give you a report of where we are. I
that's-
don't think we'll have an answer in that timeframe if it's a court
Okay.
process, but we can certainly report to you where we are in that process.
Let me see what I have here.
Okay.
I've got-
Oh, this is
I've got
from-
all this.
Okay.
Okay. You know, I want to hear this case, so I'm going to reset it, so I'll be here. And I'm going to reset it for a progress report, I'm going to call it, August 6th.
Okay.
Okay? In the meantime, have you had a face-to-face meeting with anyone at the city attorney's office?
We've had a lot of discussions.
And it hasn't progressed?
I think the February 4th letter saying we had no right to go to the Board of Adjustment was a pretty clear indication. The city has pretty much said no,
All right.
every way, which way,
Then-
every
then
which
you-
way.
Then you have done what you could do.
Yes, sir.
And you know, this is something that's way beyond my authority, so I'm just going to grant you the time, come back in August, give me an update, and we'll see where we go from here. But again, the fines are stopped as of today, and we'll see when the mitigation comes, what happens with what's outstanding at that point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Is there anything else you would like to say?
No, that's about it, but thank you for your time and thank you for the extension.
All right, so see you here in August. Hopefully you'll have better news.
On both cases, right?
On both cases, correct? Yes.
Your Honor, it's on August 6, 2020, at what time exactly? At 9 a.m.?
At 9 a.m. is correct.
Got it.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want these? 'Cause I don't need these copies.
No, I don't.
Thank you for coming over.
No,
Appreciate
of
it.
course, I didn't do anything, but
No,
it's just like
well-
my presence here, I guess. Yeah.
Do you know, I was just letting you know, like, you don't have to wait until then. 'cause
Oh, okay,
it's just that case.
All right, well then I'll come down in like an hour or so.
I'm sorry, I took this out. This is the lien statement.
Yes, from the.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, okay.
Okay? All right, next case.
On page 2, for 1 Collins Avenue, SMC 2019, ending in 11/16th, It's scheduled for a progress report, but the attorney here is requesting for a continuance on this.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief Special Master.
Your name?
Austin Murray, on
Okay.
behalf of One Ocean Condominium Association.
Okay. It is supposed to be a progress report, so you go first.
Yes, well, the progress is the association hired an engineer. We have a consulting engineer who's gone out and recommended that we perform destructive testing to get to the core cause of the violation so we can adequately remedy it and ensure it doesn't happen again. And we need the destruction testing we need to coordinate a time and place for all the interested parties to come for this testing. It's going to happen a couple weeks from now. So the city has agreed to a 1-month continuance of this hearing. So after the destructive testing is conducted, and we can come back with more substantial information on where we stand and what our plan is to remedy the violation.
Okay. City?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. William Alfonso with the City of Miami Beach. What he's saying is true. I received an email yesterday for them asking for a continuation. From what I'm seeing here, it takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks to schedule this testing. So I wouldn't mind maybe.
So no objections to the request for a continuance?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And
What I'm going to do is, instead of 30 days, I'm going to go to 60 days.
perfect, thank you.
And that would place us in April. So, and I'm here actually April 16th. So let's reschedule for April 16th.
Thank you, Chief Special Master.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next case, it's on page 5 for 1518 Drexel Avenue, SMC 2019, and then in 1275, it's a new case.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nice to see you again.
Likewise. Your name on the record, please.
Damien Gallo with the Permit Doctor, 775 17th Street, in representation of 1518 Drexel Avenue property owner.
Okay, let me hear from the city, and then I'll give you a chance to respond. City may proceed. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nir Balgobin, City of Miami Beach Code Compliance Officer. This is a property maintenance case. I'm the custodian of record. There are a few issues with the property. They have some palm fronds that are dumped with a shopping cart by the dumpster. There's some alcohol containers dumped in the hedges and a screen that needs to be fixed to seal off the bottom of the building. And that's pretty much it. We just need a compliance time. I'd like to submit the photos into evidence.
Okay, so let me see.
Thank you.
So it's just a question of cleaning up?
That's correct, Your Honor. Just wanted to put in a vent up, and the garden is there every 15 days, so palms continue coming down. The issue, actually, Your Honor, is this property was purchased by my client to do short-term. The code changed, they cannot do any more short-term, so the property is kind of vacant. The gardener is doing the maintenance work. Well, the gardener is a gardener, he doesn't care much. So since the beginning of next month, they're gonna have a maintenance guy going once a week. They already are in agreement. So
Is he already going once a week?
no, he will start the first of the month.
Okay.
He will start the
First
first
of March?
That's correct.
So what do we do between now and then?
We can do a compliance for 30 days, and he can go and stop by and see it.
Any objections?
None.
30 days will be March 13th,
Correct, perfect.
and after that, I will impose a daily fine of $100.
Got it.
Thank you very
Excellent.
much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
On page 2, for 1561 Jefferson Avenue, SMC 2019, and in 1094, it's a progress report, and it says here that if they don't comply by the 21st of January, 150 starts, but I haven't got anything, so.
So is the fine running?
Not yet.
When does it start?
Supposedly the 21st of January, but I have not got any,
You haven't got our affidavit.
exactly.
Was the request for this hearing or before?
Well,
Or
the
was it set-
Annette, I think it was Annette that said, give them a progress report on the 13th, but there is a compliance date on the 21st of January, so that
Okay.
was her
That's odd.
order, yeah.
Okay. So it's our affidavit that's late, but
Yeah,
ideally
but
they're still not
if
compliant, so
if
there
you
would be
guys
an
want to give
affidavit.
more time, then we'll, you know.
Post-date the compliance?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Won't need our
so being a progress report, let me hear from you first.
Yes, Ricardo de la Vega.
Your name, please?
Ricardo de la Vega, I'm the owner of the property. Since I was last here, I've sold the property.
You sold it.
I sold the property. We're in the process of closing, it might take another couple of weeks. I've got a,
So the closing has not taken place
the
yet?
closing hasn't taken place, so the new owner is going to take care of the violations. We've also asked for a commencement of work, which I have a proof of that here, just to
So
let you know that we,
the new owner or the owner-to-be
Yes.
is aware of the violations?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And the closing is when, did you say?
In about 2 weeks.
So what are you asking us to do?
Well, if we can just have an extension of another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they're going to start demolition as soon as they take possession of the property.
Let me hear from the city.
City of Miami Beach Code Compliance Officer Neer Balgobin. Your Honor, I went by the property. Nothing's been done. The windows on the first floor have not been boarded up. There's still a lot of overgrowth to the front of the property. And
Well,
encroaching onto the
obviously,
sidewalk.
because he's selling the property, the question is, if he sells it, then you have to reissue the violation to the new owner. I'm not sure if that's a very efficient way of handling this, but, I mean, there's not much we can do at this point.
No, this is the one with the affidavit of non-compliance. It's been heard before.
Because you didn't do it in time. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Thomas, Code Compliance Administrator, as soon as you get the warranty deed for the new owner, then we'll reissue it and start our case over. But right now, you currently own it, so we can't close the case. So maybe an extension, and then when you get the warranty deed, then we'll do a null pros and start over again with the new owner? I don't know.
I understand that. The problem I have is what happens if something goes wrong
In between,
and there's no closing, because it hasn't really happened yet.
yeah.
So that is a concern, okay?
Or we could just do a compliance date. And then if the ownership changes in the meantime, we'll do the null pros. But if it doesn't, then a fine can start to run on the current owner.
Okay, so,
So would you like to change the compliance date from January to whatever, maybe like a,
when was this violation issued?
January 29th, 2019.
so 1 year?
A
It
year.
was a year.
Yes,
A
yes,
year
but
being-
there's a point here which is the missing is that I only got the permits for construction, since that period. So there was nothing that I could have done to the building because I had no permits.
Okay.
And that was explained to you last time.
And you say that the closing schedule for 2 weeks from now?
Yes.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 30 days to come into compliance. If you sell it, we'll deal with that later, but it's going to be March 13th. After that, I'm going to impose a daily fine of $150,
Right.
okay? So if something happens that this doesn't go through, you're going to be incurring a daily fine of $150 a day
Right.
for not being in compliance. I want you to understand, this has been a year now. We really need to take care of this. So hopefully it will go through the sale, the new owner will be issued a new notice of violation, and I assume that it will be complied with. But at this point, again, March 13th is compliance. If not, $150 a day, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Just another question, which is separate matter. There is already a $100 per day running fine. No, for an unsafe structure on the building. So, and I only learned last week that I can ask to stop it, and I didn't know the process. Is it possible to take care of that now, or do I have to request? I have to. No, that's fine. Yep. Yeah. No. I'm aware of that. Yep. Yep. Okay.
She'll be back on Wednesday?
Yes, I believe you
Yeah, she's,
Yes, I do. I've got all the details. Okay.
go on, talk to her, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Caught you.
You see, I do it all the time. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Next case is on page 4 for 2000 Collins Avenue, SMC 2019, and in 1270, it's a new case.
Okay.
Who's here for Henna International LLC? Oh, there you go.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please?
Henna Hiltunen,
Okay, and you are?
the owner of the beauty salon, Henna
Very well.
International LLC.
Being a new case, let me hear from the city, and then you'll respond. City may proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joshua Guerin, Co-Compliance Officer, City of Miami Beach. I'm the issuing officer for this case.
Okay?
Your Honor, this is a zoning violation issued on December 5th, 2019, in violation of Section 138-5, Section K, displaying a freestanding or sandwich sign outside of the building and reference the A-frame sign on the outside of the beauty parlor facing the street. I have a copy of the violation and some photos like to submit as evidence.
Okay. Is the sign still up?
Since issuing the violation, they've been in compliance since issuing. Progress inspection was done this past Sunday, and the sign is not out there. They have not put it outside.
So they are in compliance?
They are in compliance, but we're still seeking adjudication so we can permanently stop the sign from being put outside.
Okay.
Here's a little timeline, Your Honor. Prior to issuing, 2 warnings were given. The first on August 27, 2019, which I spoke to the owner and another employee. Basically explained the ordinance and that the signs are not allowed to be placed outside. They removed the sign immediately. Another inspection was done on November 27th, 2019, which I spoke to a couple more employees that are on site because the owner wasn't there. I explained the ordinance again, said I already gave a warning already. Here's your last warning. If you put the sign back out, it will turn to a violation. Again, they immediately moved the sign, and that's when I did my 3rd inspection on December 5th, the sign was out there again.
So, Your Honor, being a business owner, small business owner, I have been trying to do some promotions on the A-stand outside, just simply to catch people's eyes who walk by.
Well, you can do that.
Yes,
So-
I understood that, and I took the sign off, and I don't have it there anymore. I really, truly didn't understand that it is violation. I didn't understand that it's...
Or do you understand it now, right?
Yes,
So the
absolutely.
city's only looking for adjudication? Because there's no fine associated with it.
No fine.
So what happens is, the violation did occur, so I'm going to make a finding that there was a violation. There's no fine involved. But if you do it again, you come back as a repeat violator, and then the fine is higher, okay? So
Understood.
it's important that you understand that, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, so again, there's a finding that there was a violation, and there will not be any fines associated with that, just finding adjudication of the violation, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next case is on page 4 as well. It's a similar case, 2000 Collins Avenue, SMC 2019, and then in 1269, it's a new case. There you go. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your name, please.
Sean Vardy.
And you are?
I'm the owner-operator of a restaurant called Orange Blossom,
Okay,
located right next door to Henna,
Okay.
in the same building.
all right. Let me hear from the city.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joshua Guerin, Co-Compliance Officer for City of Miami Beach. I'm the issuing officer for this case. Your Honor, this is a zoning violation issued on December 5th, 2019 for in violation of Section 138-5, Section K, displaying a freestanding or sandwich sign outside the building reference 2 A-frame signs outside the restaurant facing the street.
Okay?
I have a copy of the violation, some photos I'd like to submit as
And
evidence.
I have a picture here. Okay.
So I own a lot of businesses. Thank you. I own a lot of businesses on that block. Unfortunately, I'm not available to be inside of the store. I believe Joshua did speak to some of the employees that were there to tell them about the sign. Unfortunately, a lot of the employees are hourly employees, and they probably didn't understand the significance of what he was requesting. Joshua now has my cell phone, and as soon as I found out, I literally threw the sign in the garbage. In fact, my employees actually bought another sign that I didn't even know about because after I threw it in the garbage, they thought that it was broken. I threw that one in the garbage yesterday. Again, I've had a meeting about it yesterday.
You met with your employees?
I met with my employees. We're no longer doing any signs. To be frank, we didn't really know that this was an actual law or code, but now that we understand, we are in compliance, and you will not see a sign any longer.
So again, the city is not seeking a fine, correct?
No, we're seeking adjudication. Again, I would like to give another timeline, because it is a different business, of basically the timeline of events that occurred before the violation, if I may. Again, the violation was issued on December 5th, and since then, they have been non-compliant for 5 consecutive weeks after issuing the violation and telling them that it's not allowed and that they will be receiving a hearing before yourself. Again, prior, 2 warnings were given, both on the same days as the Hindu International. And when inspection done this last Sunday, the sign was out there again. Again, I did speak with Sean recently, and he has now since removed it. So again, we are seeking...
Well, he spoke with his employees. Yeah. I'm going to make a finding that it was a violation. But the next time, there is a fine. So let them know that they might have to pay for it if that's where you agree with them. But
I just think this was a case of just not understanding what was allowed. Okay. I don't think it's anything more than that.
Okay. All right. So I just hope you don't have to come back.
Trust me, I don't want to be back here.
All right. So again, the violation took place and there's no fine involved, but there's an adjudication. Okay?
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
On page 1 for 511 16th Street, SMC 2019, and in 1082, it's for a progress report.
Okay.
There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your name, please?
Peter Chevalier, Chevalier LLC. I'm the owner's rep and construction manager on the project for Carlota, 511 16th Street.
Okay. And being a progress report, I'll let you...
We're in progress. We're an active construction site. What had happened, we had done some exploratory demolition, sort of the history of all this, and they were not aware that we were a permitted active construction site, and they thought it was, neglect and decay and so forth, and wrote the citation. And so this is our second progress report. We have windows coming towards the end of the month. We're moving forward. Things will start to look pretty, probably around June. But right now, it's just a big construction site.
Are you at a point where you could commit to a compliance date when you're going to finish this?
Yeah, 6 months would be fair. Would be a fair compliance date. Okay. We'll start looking.
City of Miami Beach Code Compliance Officer Neil Bogobin. Your Honor, he's correct. They are actively working on it. They're making progress. There's workers there actively inside of the building. It is completely almost demoed. Well, the inside's gutted out, but they are working. So,
okay. I'm going to give you the 6 months. That is August 5th. After that, I will impose a daily fine of $100. Now, for whatever reason, August 5th is not enough.
Correct.
Before that date, you need to ask for another hearing. So, you see this lady here, you ask for another hearing, because if not, the fines will begin to run.
Correct. No, we don't want that to happen at all. And
so if you're done, you're done. But if you're not, here we are, mid-July, talk to this lady and say, I need to come before the special master to ask for additional time to come into compliance.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But
Then you just send me a request, and I'll schedule another.
What was the daily fine, Your Honor?
Schedule another hearing.
Okay?
That's fine. If you want to do a progress in June as opposed to that, we can do either way.
No, I'd rather.
You can leave it in our hands, and if we're not going to be wrapped up, we're pushing to have things substantially complete, end of June. So that's why I think 6 months from now, hitting August is a fair time.
Okay.
But
again-
and we'll go with that.
If you run into any kind of unforeseen circumstance
It's on
that will
us to
slow you down,
communicate.
call her before August 5th, okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
What was the daily fine?
100, yes.
Thanks.
Okay? Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time to see me.
Thank you very much.
On page 6 for 1650 James Avenue, SMC 2020, and then in 1292, it's a new case.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
My name is Enrique Valencia. I'm the managing director for the Albion Hotel.
Okay. Let me hear from the city then.
Good morning, Joshua Guerin, Co-Compliance Officer, St. Miami Beach, and the issuing officer for this case. Your Honor, this is a property maintenance violation issued on September 18th, 2019. A reference to several property maintenance violations. 2 property maintenance violations still exist, including broken and cracked stucco on several areas around the property, and the building needs to be painted or all around the entire property.
Painted the whole structure or just?
I have a copy of violations and photos like this submitted as evidence. It's mostly the outer, the walls, the general walls of the structure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, regarding these violations, we corrected some of them. Regarding the water that was on the alleyway, it was due to the case that our AC unit was old and was leaking water. We've replaced the AC unit recently, so that's fixed. We painted all that area, that's been corrected. Regarding the cracks on the structure, this is a project that is greater than what it seems. Right now, before the violation was issued, we pulled a permit to replace our windows. That permit is already on the go. We already ordered materials. We already fabricated materials. We have them in property. Installation will start within 3 weeks. After that, we're moving with a second project to repair all the cracks. And then after all that, it will be the painting of the property. Otherwise, it will not make sense.
About how long do you think it's going to take?
Honestly, I would like to have an extension at least 6 months. I think it's going to be it is a long project due to the case that also we have pending our 40-year certification. So we're extending that as well. It is not an easy, it is a big project. So, but we're moving along with it. We already have a permit on the city for the windows. We already have them in place. And we just want the time to get everything in compliance.
Any objection to a 6 months?
Yeah, I think 6 months should be good. The city has already granted them an extension for 90 days on our behalf. So if we can get that compliance date within 6 months, that'd be great.
I think there's a lot of work done. If you want me to, I'll bring it back for a progress report in 3 months. But I think that they need to get a better assessment as to what is going to happen before they can commit to an actual date. So you want me to bring it back for a progress report?
Okay.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. We are now in February. Okay, I'm here on June 18th.
Okay.
So let's come back on June 18th for a progress report.
Okay.
And be prepared that day to give me a compliance date, okay? As
Okay.
You need to commit when is this going to be finished on that date.
Yeah,
okay?
unfortunately, the window project was pulled before the violation, so we can't really move into painting the building until all our windows are
And I
installed.
understand.
Otherwise, it will be a waste of money.
I understand,
No.
I understand. So try to push that,
Yeah.
and then maybe if you already replaced the windows when you get back, you should be able to say, it's gonna take me another month or two.
Okay.
And then we'll have a compliance date,
Well,
okay?
just to say also, we already pulled permits for reports from engineers for analysis of the structure, so we're moving along with all the cracks on that as well.
Well, it
so.
seems like you're working on it, and that's where I wanna be flexible with you, okay? All right, so we'll see you here again on June 18th.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Next case is on page 7 for 700 West Delito Drive, SMP 2020, ending in 88. And I have the companion case, which is SMP 2020, ending in 89. I'm not sure if you're representing both or just
Yeah, I'm representing, so I'm the general contractor, I'm representing MV
the
Construction
MV
and the
Construction.
owner.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that I could call both cases.
No problem.
This is a new case, or?
Yes, it's a new parking case, yes.
All right. Very well. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, I'm Samuel Sessery, I'm the parking inspector for the,
Were you sworn in this morning?
yes,
Okay, good.
been here all morning.
All right.
So I have some documents I'd like to submit for the special master and for the clerk. So if you
All right.
want to review
Yeah,
these.
of course. So, we build a lot on Miami Beach, a lot of the luxury homes. And what's happened on this particular case, we're doing two big projects on North Bay Road. We're actually having our subs park in North Bay Road and coming over to 700 Delito. There is several homes on that same street that seems as if they're doing unpermitted work, and a bunch of their subs are parking on very close to our project, which is a big project that actually has a permit. So what I would ask is if we can have, when you go by there, take a picture of whatever license plate it is and provide it to us, so that way we could find that stranger. I don't know who those people are. It's happening all around that area. We're very cognizant of it. We have a very big on-site team, and that is very, very aware of our subs. And I know that this particular violation is not correlated to us. And if we can have, and I'm assuming, I don't know if it's here or not, if we can have the license plate, or if we can have the authority from you guys to call a tow company to tow them if they're in our area, we're glad to do that. We've really made an effort to not have, and we've built a lot of projects, and this is the first time we've ever been fined. And you can see we probably have over 100 permits in the last 5 years with the City of Miami Beach, all of luxury homes. The first time we ever had a parking fine, and you were correct, 100%. I'm not debating that the cars are parking, and they still are, but it's not our cars. So if we can, and I can give you my information, if you could take pictures of them, email it to me, we will.
I'm sure there are pictures there, because usually, this gentleman's been here before.
Okay.
He's very thorough on
This
what
is
he
the
does.
first time I've ever been
Okay,
here.
so let's, usually, the person that parks is then observed going into the actual construction site. And
Yeah, so all these vehicles were observed from construction employees walking to the vehicles from this
So
particular
let me ask you, were you
construction-
there yourself?
Yeah, I'm the inspector.
And you saw these people park the car and go into this particular construction site, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, that's, because these are not my subs.
And you might not be aware of it. There might be a miscommunication between, your team and who they're hiring, et cetera. But, there's no doubt these people are walking in and out, and I'm telling them, you can't park in the street.
Did you
This
actually
isn't there."
speak with some of them?
Yeah, I've even spoken to, I called the phone number that's if I can't reach somebody on site, I call the phone number that's posted on their contractor sign. I've talked to them twice.
Who did you talk to? Can you give me some details? So,
Because I want to address it immediately. We want to, I mean, we're very
let's
cognizant of it.
Yeah, let me pull out my notes here.
okay.
Because we have a full-time superintendent on site, which I can give you his information. We have full-time project managers.
Yeah,
on
I've spoken to your superintendent on site, and he was in shock about it.
Yeah, because I make them take people. I literally have, I don't know, $1,000 a month Uber bill for bringing people on site. So we really try to be cognizant of it.
Could you submit that so they can?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Fernanda?
So I would ask if we can, see if we can not have this $5,000 fine, and we could work collaboratively with the parking inspector in order to, one, mitigate the problem or address the problem.
Let's get all the evidence
Sure.
before me, and then let's talk about it.
Just loading up here. 1 second. Wasn't prepared for looking up this intergov stuff.
Is there a way with those images you'd be able to email those to me so that way I can go one by one and see exactly what's?
Yeah, I can actually, after we're done with this case, I'll just give you this whole file.
Yeah.
And you could go through and see.
For example, this one here, I see a picture that says Foster and Son Electrical Contractors. Are they?
They're not a subcontractor on that
They are
job.
not. Okay.
I'm going to go through each one of them. That's why I want to go through each one and see, and I want to sit with my superintendent. I'm going to, from here, my plan is to go there with, now that there's images, so I can address each one. I said, if the inspector's telling me that there was someone, it could be a sub of a sub. So that's why I want to make sure to address each one.
Pacific Glass?
Pacific Glass is well, it's a glass company. I don't know the name, to be honest. I don't know which.
Or it could be.
Could be. I don't know.
All right, let's go through the timeline first. So, see this inspection, 700. Here's the most recent one. West Toledo. So let's go to the most recent inspection. This is going to be the one where the violation was processed for special master. I spoke with a gentleman named Arias. He's a superintendent on the site.
Do you know this person?
Yeah, Alex Arce.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, yeah, I handed him the parking management plan that you can see in the file that was completed on August 22nd, 2018 for building permit BR 1802311. Told him that they had an agreement to be parking There's a letter here that's in the attachment that says they're going to be parking off-site here at 1623 Alton Road
Yep.
and shuttling the
Was
employees
the plan
there.
submitted and approved by the city
Yes.
as to the parking?
Yeah, so this was approved
Okay.
a few years before this violation took place, before they
So
got
when
the
you
permit.
spoke to this person, what
He
did
wasn't aware of that agreement
He told you he
at
wasn't
all.
aware of the
Yeah, his name is
parking
actually.
plan?
Yeah, so I handed him the parking plan, and he was not aware of the arrangements that they are claiming to have had on this plan to be shuttling employees from 1623 Alton Road to the job
We're
site.
doing it through our North Bay Road property because we have another project that we're doing on North Bay Road. So yes, the superintendent, we're not doing it through exactly what the parking plan is. We're doing it because we have a 2-acre house.
But
So
but if he doesn't know the parking plan,
Well,
it could be-
because he knows that we're bringing the people from our other job site, they're parking there and moving over, not originally, if we wouldn't have had another job site, then we would have had to use the parking garage. But we're not, we're using the other job site, which has 2 acres, so we have a huge amount of parking there. So, yes, he is not aware of 16th and Alton because we never had to utilize that.
I understand, but
I'm
you
just
see,
being honest, yeah.
and
I
I
will
appreciate
discuss
it.
with
I
them.
appreciate you being honest, but it is a violation, so what else do you have?
The other concept is, if I'm there having to submit photos every time for their review before I issue a violation, it's just gonna.
No, I understand. That's not practical, but
Yeah.
that's not your job.
My idea is if we can address it, I'll have my superintendent come outside every day to make sure that there's no cars at all. And if there is, my idea is we're gonna try to figure out whose car that is, so that way we can just tell them, I don't care which job you're doing in which house, get off of our property. That's my only recommendation. Or if they don't move, then I'll call you to be able to do it. But if you could give us opportunity to work together with you, as I said, I'm the owner of the company, and we understand the severity of this, and we really want to address it.
So in terms of towing, this is just in relation to the parking management plan. To tow a vehicle requires proper signage, and it comes from an actual enforcement officer. So in terms of just towing the vehicles, that's why we have problems on Toledo Island particularly, because you have a mixture of residents that live there that have services to their homes that aren't under construction. So we can't just tow every vehicle in
Can I
on
put
the street,
signage,
but
may I put signage on our property to say we will tow you away if you park in front of our property?
you can always request tow-away signage, but that wouldn't really work in your benefit because you probably would want to have construction employees parking on your property. In the case that, they start towing the wrong vehicles, now you're going to have subcontractors towed away that are supposedly doing work on your job site. My recommendation would be to keep a log of the employees that are going to be checking into your job site on a daily basis, because I know subcontractors are there maybe 1-2 days and then they're gone. That way you have their vehicle information, you have the driver's information. If fines need to be passed on for those that are in violation, they can be passed on through whatever contracts you have.
And the only area where they can park is on our property, correct?
Yeah, or as I stated earlier, there's a plan here that when it was completed said that you guys were going to be parking at 1623 Alton Road and shuttling
Yeah, that's what
from
we're
the
doing right
garage.
now with North Bay Road, but I'm saying that there's only basically the 2 cars in the driveway. That's what can park in our driveway, right?
Yeah, you can park on your construction site, or you can park in an off-site location that was approved on your
What
plan.
happens is if you happen to live in one of these houses around the construction area, I mean, it's very annoying to have all this, so that's why this is in place right now, because, and I really realize, because you're not the first one to come before me, that controlling the parking of the subcontractors is very difficult.
Especially
know
when
that.
there's subs of subs, right? So it's.
But, the city has chosen to put that responsibility on you, and that's where it is, so.
The direction of our enforcement efforts on Toledo is from complaints from the homeowners association. So this is an issue that is impacting the residents, and that's why, we go through the measures we do. So,
Okay, So
Totally understand.
what is the city seeking here?
Well, they're clearly in violation. I would like some sort of fine that you feel fit, because in terms of enforcement, I can't, like he was requesting, go out and take pictures and just,
So the actual fine is $5,000, correct?
that's what the code says, yeah. That's what, I guess, the range
All
is.
right. Yeah. Okay. And supposedly,
And just a reminder that these are two separate cases. There's one for the general contractor, there's one for the property owner, and in terms of the reasoning is because obviously a general contractor could never do business on the beach again.
so we're really looking at $10,000,
Property.
correct?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that? The general
So in terms of this ordinance, it was written so that there's a violation that goes to the general contractor and one that goes to the property owner. So in case, but particularly in terms of a general contractor, if they flee and never come back to the beach or change their name, we can lien the property for the issued fines.
Not going anywhere.
Okay.
So,
All right.
And we would be representing the owner as well on this. The owner is
Understood.
the,
But I just want to clarify this. Is the city seeking $5,000 per case?
No, this is a first offense, so I wouldn't see 5,000 being, in my opinion,
Okay.
not
I
necessarily
appreciate it.
valid.
The city doesn't like for me to lower the fine, but, I've heard what you said. You've been honest. You understand what's going on. I still have to give you a fine, but I'm going to lower it to $2,500, okay? And please control it, because we need to make sure that you don't have to come back on this. I know you've been working in Miami Beach for a long time, and this is the first time you have a problem. Work on it, please.
Understood.
How long do you need to pay the fine?
We could pay it whenever.
I'll give you 30 days, is that okay?
It's fine, that's no problem.
So please pay by March 5th.
And that will resolve both the owner's one? And
Yes.
ours. Okay.
Both of them. So, okay, and and I appreciate you working with us to try to avoid this in the future.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Dismiss the owner. And 2,500 to him, okay?
Thank you.
Next case, it's on page 6.
Okay.
For 1043 Euclid Avenue, SMC 2020, and then in 1290, it's a new case.
Very good. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Hansel. I'm the property manager for this property.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that another file in front of that. All right. Good morning.
Good morning, Jorginho.
It's a new case, so city goes first.
Morning, Your Honor. This is a property maintenance case issued to 1043 Euclid Avenue. Basically for rusted railings that need to be replaced, broken stucco on the property, and the paint and scraping of the walls throughout the whole property. I've spoken with the property manager already on this matter. They're currently working to get all the permits and to finalize contracts with the general contractor to start doing the work. So.
Hi, like I said, my name is Hansel. We got the violation. We started looking at the property, but we really need to paint completely the property, change everything. So we're trying to get the permits. But now my contractor went to the city, so we need to first submit the colors for planning and zoning to be able to get the permit. So I have the agreement here that we already signed the agreement. We just need the time to paint the building. We signed the agreement on February 6th, so I'll leave it between less than 2 months we get it done, so probably 90 days will be more than enough.
Any objections from the city? 90 days?
No objections. I'll probably set 90 days for a progress report.
Okay. You want a progress report first? He's saying 90 days and to comply.
I mean, we can do a compliance date. Sure.
Is that okay with you? I'll give you till May 4th.
Thank you.
And after that, I will impose a daily fine of $100, okay?
Okay.
Something happens, you let us know beforehand.
Sure.
Because once
I have to go to.
you call her and ask for another date, and we'll put it up. But hopefully, May 4th will take care of it, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I know people? We have more cases and nobody here? Oh, that's nice.
Compliance, but I don't know. The no-shows. So on page one,
Let me ask you this, do we have an 11 o'clock or this is it?
If Ferocia is gonna bring an agreed order for the 11 o'clock, so I told her not to wait until 11, I mean, she must be coming.
That's right. That's right.
Whenever,
That's
yeah.
right. No problem, okay.
So on page one for 1440 Ocean Drive, it's SMC 2018, and then in 916, it's scheduled for a progress report, and they're not here.
Do we have service or?
Yeah, it's an attorney, Bill Rowley, he's always here.
By my understanding, they were changing legal representation, and
Well, I was, but I never got.
I don't know if they actually completed that.
That's true.
Okay, so just put your name on the record, please.
Randy Russell, City of Miami Beach, Code Compliance. Sorry about that. I'm the. Okay, sorry. I'm the custodian of record.
Okay, and so what happened here again?
So, with the property, they have speakers on the exterior of the Betsy Ross at 1440 Ocean Drive, and they require a CUP to have those speakers, and they were supposed to meet with the Historic Preservation Board. As of now, we have no update as to if they've met and applied for the permit or the CUP.
So what are you recommending?
Since they don't have any legal representation here, I would like either a continuance or a compliance date.
Well, I can go either way. You tell me what you rather. If you want to have a continuance and reset it, I will. If you want me to give a compliance date, I will as well too.
What do you know about the lawyer?
Only thing I know is that they were changing representation, but nothing. And they were supposed to be not the last time, but the time before. The lawyer spoke and said, "Hey, we're changing legal representation. Give us more time." Gave them more time.
Okay, so we've already gone through this exercise. So at the last hearing, they said they were getting new legal representation, but they haven't notified any of us who that is. And what service do you have on this hearing? To the lawyer or to the lawyer? So maybe we need to get a service to the actual property owner instead of the lawyer, because
Why don't we continue it and we post the notice on the door, okay?
I can do
So
that.
we have posting. Let's see, how soon do you want to have this heard again? I can do it as soon as March 5th, I don't know, or April 2nd. That's the two dates.
April 2nd, so to make sure we get the notice
Okay,
posted.
so let's continue to April 2nd, okay?
Try to get a hold of Bill Rowley, the previous attorney, and see if he can.
But at the very least, we can give it to the property owner, because then they can tell us who their lawyer is.
Yeah, of course, that's without a doubt.
Yeah.
Don't take his representation out of here, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fernanda, let's take a 5-minute break.
Sure, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you.
documentation.
Okay, ready when you are.
Do you wanna do her agreed order first, or do you want me to do the no-shows first?
Well, if she's sitting here, might as well do the agreed order, I think, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Ferosha, let's just do yours so you can leave, and then we'll do the no-shows.
I don't want you just sitting there just waiting.
Alrighty, it's okay. I mean, I enjoy hanging out with you guys, so.
Okay.
Let me call the case for the 11 a.m. calendar. It's on page 8 for 6940 Bay Drive. It's JC13 ending in 171. This was set today for a mitigation, and I understand that they have an agreed order to be signed.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Ferosha Ndasheva. On the behalf of the City of Miami Beach, Your Honor, the property owner and the city has reached an agreement in regards to the mitigating their fines that have been owned. So the above violation was issued to Bosch FL LLC on March 1st, 2012 for failure to obtain a certificate of use as required by the city code. They have been found in compliance as of September 28, 2017 and eligible for mitigation. And thus, the parties have agreed that the lien fines should be reduced to $13,000, inclusive of costs and recording fees. And upon receipt of said funds, the clerk of the special master will issue in the recorded satisfaction of lien in connection with the case.
And how long do they have to pay this?
Yeah, and they have 30 days from the entry of this order to pay.
Okay, all right.
Yep. May I approach?
Yes, please. Thank you. Do I keep a copy in the file here, or do you take them both and then give us one back, or what?
I'd like to keep one copy and give a copy to the...
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So it's probably better for her to come in person. Okay.
So I can,
Yeah, come in person with this and pay.
Yeah,
Okay.
then we'll know what to do.
Okay, so like to you specifically? Yeah. Okay, all right, sounds good.
Thank you, Ferosha.
All right, no, thank you for I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Your Honor, have a good day.
You're welcome, you too.
All right, let's continue with the no-shows.
Okay.
On page 2 for 1605 Daytonia Road, SMC 2019 ending in 1134. It's a reset from the 23rd of January. They made a request for more time to comply, but at the same time, she made a request for continuance from today's hearing.
I'm not sure I understand.
She made a request for more time to comply. I scheduled her for today, and then now she's asking for a continuance. The day that I've scheduled her for.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Gaspar Rodriguez, on behalf of the City of Miami Beach, I'm the custodial records on this case. An inspection was done on this case just recently, and there's been nothing done. The dock is still in disrepair.
Okay. When was this violation issued?
This violation was issued February 27th, 2018.
So it's actually 2 years.
Yes, violation was issued about 2 years.
It's about time we do something about this. There is a fine running, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the fine. What is a reasonable time that you think it would take this owner to come into compliance?
Your Honor, it's been open for about 2 years, so I would say to put some pressure on the homeowner to get it done, I would give it about, and be reasonable, I would give it 60 days. So that way it puts some pressure on the owner to get it done, and at the same time, it's on them now, because it's been like that for 2 years.
All right. You know what, I'm going to give him 90 days, and that will be May 4th. And after that, taking into account that this has been going on for 2 years, I'm going to impose a daily fine of $200 per day.
But you're stopping the one now.
I'm stopping that, yeah. So I give the owner the chance of coming to compliance. There's already a $13,000 fine pending, which I'm going to leave there, see what happens. And then I will resume the fines at $200 per day after May 4th if there has not been compliance.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'll let her know on an email to.
I'd also like to submit a photo for evidence as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Are you here for a case? You keep walking around and I see you. And I don't know, what are you doing?
Sir, do you have a?
Okay.
On page 3 for 275 South Hibiscus Drive, SMC 2019, and in 1167, for a progress report.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Lee, Code Compliance Officer, City of Miami Beach.
Yeah, I think
Your Honor, I have good
recall
news.
seeing you here before a couple of times, right? Progress report, no one is here. What are we doing? What's going on?
I have some good news, Your Honor. I met with the owner. He's in compliance, so I'm
You're going to close the case?
asking you to close the case, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Next case on page 3 for 2070 Bay Drive, SMC 2019, and in 1260, it's a new case, and I have service.
Okay. And there's no one here. So, city may proceed since we have service.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Gaspar Rodriguez on behalf of the City of Miami Beach. I am the custodian of records for this case. The issuing officer was able to inspect the site on February 11th, and upon their inspection, the property is in compliance.
Perfect. So, we're going to close it, correct?
Correct, yeah. Requesting to close the case.
Next, on page 4 for 1820 James Avenue, SMC 2019, and in 1266. It's a new case, and I have service.
All right. And there's no one here, so city may proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joshua Gary, Code Compliance Officer, City of Miami Beach, and the issuing officer for this case. Correction, I'm the custodian of records for this case. Your Honor, on October 26, 2019, CCO Pena issued a property maintenance violation to this property in violation of Section 58-293C. Ceiling and walls are not properly maintained and are in need of paint in the following locations: the area between the 5th and 6th stairwell, as well as the stairwell on the south side of the garage. I have a copy of the violation and some updated pictures to submit as evidence.
Okay. Have anyone heard from the owner? This is what, a condominium? And
A similar case was heard just last month. The owner was here regarding another violation, so they are aware of the violations, but no progress has been done on a recent inspection this past Sunday, and they're still in non-compliance.
did anyone speak to anyone on the board about what was going on? Do we know why there hasn't been any movement in
They
this?
received, I believe, a progress report for another violation that they were here for last month.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they would need more time to complete the violations. They just haven't gotten to them.
Okay. What are you suggesting?
If you see the pictures, I believe there are violations that can be corrected within a reasonable time. So for these, I would suggest a compliance date, seeking a compliance date, and then possibly run a fine.
And it's only painting that they need?
Yeah, just painting in the stairwell. It's
Give him 45 days to comply. That would be March 30th. And after that, I will impose a daily fine of $200.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case is on page 4, 735 83rd Street, SMC 2019, and then in 1268. It's a new case, and I have the posting of the notice.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Gaspar Rodriguez on behalf of the City of Miami Beach. I am the custodian of records for this case. This is in reference to PM 2019-03533. It was issued to 735 83rd Street. This case was initially issued on October 29th.
October 29th of
2019.
19.
In reference to some property maintenance issues. It was sent out certified, and we had the return to sender on November 22nd, 19. A progress inspection was done on was done on the 10th of this month, so just a
Okay.
few days ago, and they were not able to access the unit.
They were not, I'm sorry?
Yeah, they were not able to access the unit. So, and they were able, and this last, and it was last heard.
Is this one unit in a multi-unit structure or what?
Yes, both violations on here are in reference to the same unit, Unit 1.
Okay.
And last time this was heard, it was heard January 21st, and then was continued till today. And the inspecting officer was also the issuing officer. Wasn't able to make.
So I suppose this is
access.
a rental unit? This is for rent here, so it has to be. But is the only issue here the refrigerator and the bathroom?
Yes, refrigerator not working properly, and bathtub faucet is leaking.
All right. Suggestions?
I would say, since they're reasonably easy fixes, I would say since, and it's been issued, they have been notified of the issue, was the complainant was within the unit. I would say give them 45 days for compliance to make sure, so it gives us time, that way we can go ahead and attempt to gain access. And then that way the property owner is notified, so that way it puts pressure on them to go ahead and do these simple fixes.
I think you're being somewhat lenient, but I'm going to go with you, 45 days. This is something that should have been taken care of already, but 45 days is okay. That would be March 30th. I will impose a fine of $200 a day after that.
Next case is on page 5, 44329 North Bay Road, SMC 2019, ending in 1272. It's a new case, and I have a picture of the posting.
Okay. Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, we have service, so you may proceed.
Dorian Grant, City of Miami Beach Code Compliance Officer. This case, I'm custodian of records for case number PM 2018-02323. This case was issued by Code Compliance Officer Niru Balgobin on June 7, 2018, for a broken fence in the rear of the property. My progress inspection on November 30th of last year revealed that this fence is still broken. Nothing has been done. The property is very poorly maintained. I went back February 6th, but I did not have access. Someone had locked the gate, so I couldn't go back to see if the fence was broken. However, I saw an advertisement that was provided by me by Inspector Mindy Blanco for the house being advertised for rent for $2,000 a night during Super Bowl weekend.
$2,000 a night, so it's a short-term rental?
Definitely a short-term rental because they say per night. It wasn't for the month. And it was during the Super Bowl weekend, like I say. So this property has been very poorly maintained, but going back there on the 6th means, and finding the gate locked means they are aware and there is somebody who is in charge of this property. They just don't want to take care of it.
All right. I'm going to give him 45 days to come into compliance, March 30th. I'm going to impose after that a daily fine of $300.
Okay. I would like to submit into the record pictures of the broken fence.
Let me see. Let her stamp it. Thank you. Yeah, okay, I have the same pictures in the file already, but that's all right. Advertising, no, I didn't.
It is, we are going to issue for advertising, yes. Absolutely.
No, this is a separate issue. Part of short-term
45
rental.
days and 300.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Page 5, for 1260 Washington Avenue, SMC 2019, ending in 1273. It's a new case, and I have service.
Okay. Very well. We have service. Thank you. So city may proceed. Good morning, sir. Finally, you get to come up to the microphone.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Please make your appearance. Your name for the record, both of you.
Jim McMillan, City of Miami Beach Finance Department.
Good morning. Maya Jefferson, City of Miami Beach Code Compliance.
Good morning. Okay. Let me hear about this case.
This violation was issued on December 6, 2019, towards 1260 Washington Avenue. Reference failing to remit resort tax returns and or payments to the City of Miami Beach as requested. Missing resort tax payments from July 2019 through October 2019.
Jim McMillan, City of Miami Beach Finance Department. This individual owns two businesses on the same block, Washington Avenue. Both businesses are constantly an issue with resort tax. His His business plan seems to not pay until we go to special master. When we get to special master, he usually misses hearings, reschedules hearings, and tries to expend the amount of time that he holds our money. Subsequent to the last violation, which was cleaning up June of 2019, he hasn't paid since. So it's been 6 more months. We haven't received a payment. He has our money for this time. Based on his history and his complete negligence of his responsibility for resort tax payment, I'd like to request that the business be closed until payment made full. Give him 15 days to pay.
So you're asking me to give him 15 days to pay, otherwise to have the business closed?
Yes, Your Honor, cease and desist.
Okay, so, we need to coordinate. Fernandez, any way that you could prepare this order for me today?
Yes.
That I can sign it before I finish the day?
As soon as we're done, I'll go downstairs and do it, and then in the afternoon, you sign them?
And I want to have it served on this person today. Is that possible? Could you go to this business?
Yes.
Later on today? We're going to have signed sometime. What, you're going to have it for me for 2 o'clock?
Yeah. Can you?
Okay, so if you can swing by at 2 o'clock,
2 o'clock here, and I'll give you a copy.
Yes.
yeah, just make 2 copies so that we can keep one.
Sure.
And then it's going to be 2 weeks, will be February 27th.
Okay.
Or if payment is not made by then, cease and desist, and the business shall be closed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry we had to come to this, but it's a constant.
Yeah, it's sad, but we cannot have people playing games.
Yes, sir.
That's not allowed.
Thank you.
Because we spend a lot of time and money in going after them, and it shouldn't be, especially in a business.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're almost done. Go there. Page 5 for 925 Lenox Avenue, SMC 2019, ending in 1276. It's a new case, and I have service.
Let me ask you something. We're going to finish about 11 or so.
I could do it.
Yeah, and I can go with you. So, yeah, and so I don't want her to leave.
Can you wait for us here? As soon as I have like 2 more left, I'm gonna go down, do it, and I'll come back. Okay.
All right, so
So that way we can just
yeah,
get out of the
right,
way.
yes, yes. Thank you, Fernanda. Okay, so in this case, we do have service, so the city may proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Gaspar Rodriguez on behalf of the City of Miami Beach. This is in reference to PM property maintenance violation 2019-03489, reference to 925 Lenox Avenue for property maintenance violations. This violation was issued on the 13th of October of 2019. It was received certified November 1st, 2019. A progress check was done on December 2nd, 2019, and it showed that the property was not in compliance, and that's when it was submitted to special master. Also, a progress inspection was done on the 10th of February of this year, 2020, and the property is still not in compliance.
So I can see the pictures here, trash and debris in the rear of the building. Oh, my God. Garbage all over the place. Is this a single-family home?
Give me 1 second, Your Honor. No, I'm not familiar with the property.
It looks abandoned. Is anybody living in that property?
No, it's a multifamily.
Trash and building.
Okay. Anything else? In this case?
Yeah, for this pertaining case, no, that's it. There's only those 2 violations.
30 days to come into compliance, March 13th, and after that, $200 a day fine.
$200 a day?
Yes.
Next one on page 6 for 834 Ocean Drive, SMC 2019, ending in 1277. It's a new case, and I have service.
Very well, we have service, so Sadie may proceed.
Okay.
Violations issue was.
Good morning, City of Miami Beach Code Compliance Department, Maya Jefferson. This violation was issued August the 6th of 2019. This was issued to Casa Grande Casa Grande Suites Incorporated. This is also failing to remit resort tax returns and/or payment to the City of Miami Beach as required, for failing to remit resort tax.
Right? You're on.
Jim McMillan, City of Miami Beach Finance Department. The city staff's been working with the property owner.
Okay.
She sent an email last night. Most of the stuff can be done online. She was able to pay the pending returns, but there's an assessment that she's trying to challenge and get back with the budget office. But since she's paid and brought her account current, she's requesting 30 days to resolve that issue. And I'd like to request that. She also sent a note that she wouldn't be able to come today because of an issue with her child. So I want to submit it. Yeah.
So
She's
you're in
yes.
agreement with the 30 days?
Yeah, yes. Currently, if we come,
March 13th, and you want a daily fine after that? If it's not in compliance, or?
let's give her 45 days and then we'll start daily fine.
All right,
Just in case with meeting with staff and everything, it's
I
a
understand.
process.
So let's make it then March 30th,
Mhm.
and then I'll impose a daily fine of $50 a day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
50?
Yes.
The last one, it's also on page 6 for 925 Lenox Avenue, SMC 2020, ending in 1291. It's a new case. The attorney made a request for a continuance.
This is the first time?
Yes.
Unless there is a really compelling reason, I usually grant continuances. Do you have any objections to that?
Okay, so this is the same address that
Said-
you just had. So did he ask for continuance for both?
It's different businesses,
It's a short-term rental. It's probably a different unit in that building.
Oh, no, as a matter of fact.
No, it's a common area,
Yes.
because we have 2 PM cases for
For
different
the
things.
same property, different
For the
dates.
same property, so they asked for continuance for one, but not for the other?
Well, I wonder if the guy's aware of the one that you just said.
Who's
I
that?
mean, not you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the same case that,
Same property. There was a property maintenance violation that had a few items, and then weeks later, another complaint came, so this, he's a custodian of record, but another officer wrote for the other items, so there's 2 PM cases for 2 different things at the same address.
Yeah, 2801 Biscayne Boulevard, C501. Yeah.
They're both issued to the same owner, yeah. It's just weird that they would ask for continuance on one, but not the other.
Yeah.
The same address, and I didn't get service.
Yeah. Jordan Jacobson, Miami Beach Code Compliance. And I was also able to speak. I spoke with the actual owner of the property a couple of days ago. He said that there was a change in the property management company. There was supposed to be a representative here today, but I guess they didn't show up. For this one right now. It's probably because they're probably not aware of that violation, because for this one, the owner told me he wasn't aware of it either. He had a property management company and he fired them because of the fact that they weren't taking care of the property. So now he's going with a new company and he was going to ask for a continuance just to get everything resolved.
but I understand,
yeah.
you know, the attorney's letter says that he wants a continuance to have the work completed. That's not where you ask for a continuance, because if they're
Yeah.
trying to, what I can give him time to come into completion, but this is not a proper basis for a continuance. The idea is, give me time to complete, which is what he's asking for, and I will.
Correct.
And I will. So.
Yeah, and-
Maybe the
but-
same
but-
date as,
The same
March 13th.
March 13th.
$200, that's the same one you gave me.
The other one, Enrique, you gave him until March 13th.
Well, now that, with this, I like to
I can
revisit that.
submit the pictures because they're very similar issues. They were just not included in that first violation. But basically maintenance of the property, like overgrowth, and then there's the fence in the front of the front yard is broken in a certain area and has to be repaired. That was the only difference that was not included in the first.
Fernando, and the other one was that I gave 30 days?
You gave them until the 13th, yeah, 30 days.
Okay. You know what, let's give him 45 days. Okay, so for both, because, you know, that should be enough. So the actually will be March 30th compliance date. After that, I will impose a daily fine, make it $100. Okay?
And I will let him know.
Yeah, and let the attorney know that I didn't grant the continuance because continuances are not granted to get the work completed. It's continuances are granted to get the cases heard if there's something to be said. But if they're agreeing that the work has to be completed, then it's a compliance date, okay?
Okay, this is the one that you have.
Okay.
That's mine. I gave it to you. The one mine you gave me. Yeah.
All right?
Yes, I'm gonna go downstairs.
I'm not going to wait for the order here. Okay, so this finishes our morning session.
I'm gonna go now and do it, and I will be right back. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'll see you. You want exercise today? Yeah, I have to come at 6, but I guess I will. Just come sweaty. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I'll be far away from Annette.
Oh, yeah, yeah, at last. The skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover.